Welcome to my channel. This video is for a Christmas mini mum. I hope you'll subscribe. Don't forget to tap the bell for notifications. Like, share, comment, but please be kind with your comments. I've already attached the acetate ribbons. The center red ribbon is a 2.5 inch width. The red and white ribbons on either side are the 1 5/16 inch. And then the green ribbons I attached on top are 9/16 inch. I have this Christmas print wired 2.5 inch width ribbon that I want to add to the sides. I decided I wanted a fun Christmas print on the sides, so I'm just measuring out how much I need for each side, and then I will take the wires out first. You always want to take the wires out when you're using these ribbons on homecoming mums. And then I'm going to cut a V shape in the ends, and I'm attaching them to the back side because if I attached them at an angle on the front side, they would cover up most of those ribbons and it would look funny. So I need to attach it to the back side. And you just want to line that up exactly where you want it and then staple it on there. It's very simple, but it adds something fun and unique on each side of this. See how that just changed the looks of it completely? It just stepped it up. Now I'm going to attach a heart chain. This is made from Deco Mesh tubing. I have many tutorials for these. I make them different ways. I believe this one is version 2. Now I have silver tinsel wire or chenille stems behind that red Deco Mesh, and they wanted gold accents, but that's okay. I'm going to add gold to it, and so you'll just see a hint of silver behind the red. It won't be a big deal. So you just want to make sure you staple that on really well. Now, because of the way I attached these ribbons, I didn't leave myself anywhere to attach her name in big letters. It would have been really small, so I'm adding this soft satin wide ribbon. I think this is either a 1.5 or maybe closer to a 2 inch. I'm not exactly sure by looking at it. I can't remember, but it is one of the wider of the soft satins you can buy, and I just thought that would really soften it up and add something really beautiful to add her name to. So now I'm adding tinsel to add that gold accent, and this is just thin gold tinsel you can get at any store, dollar stores or anything. And I'm just wrapping it around between the two hearts, where the two hearts are connected. That's where the most silver was showing, and that's also where I'm going to add bows too. Now I'm adding a piece of tinsel, just stapling it on there, made it the same length, and I'm going to make bows out of green organza. I love organza ribbon. I think it's a really pretty touch to a homecoming mum. They're sheer, but they're shiny as well, so they will kind of give that, you know, kind of shiny, glittery look to something, even though they're not glittered. Sometimes you can buy them glittered, but then they'll be even more glittery and shiny. But there's just something about them. They just look a little bit more high end, and they're usually pretty inexpensive. So it's a nice thing to add. And I'm adding a bell onto the chenille stem. I'm using a gold chenille stem to add that gold touch, and then of course a red bell for the Christmas. And just wrapping that around the bow. These bows are very simple to make. As you saw how I shaped them, and you just pinch the center, pinch it in and then out, and then wrap a chenille stem around it. It's very simple. So I added one to the top and then to the bottom, and I'm going to do one more for the middle, but I'm going to do a giant bell for the middle. And here's the bow with the giant bell. I thought this would be really fun. This mum is for a younger girl, an elementary age, so I really wanted to be fun with this and add all kinds of patterns and fun Christmas things. There you see all the bows with the bells. That just made it really Christmassy. And I got worried about this piece of tinsel. I thought somebody's going to grab that and pull on it and it's just going to break. So I'm just wrapping it around the back side just to add some more gold tinsel to it, some more gold touches. I'm taking this red megaphone and I'm just adding a gold metallic sticker to it. This is a scrapbooking sticker with her first initial on it. I just thought that would be a fun touch. Just personalizes. When you add things like that, it just personalizes the mum for them. Little touches like that really step up your mums, and people really appreciate it. So now I'm using gold metallic curling ribbon to attach the megaphone to the backer. That again will add some more gold accents to it, and it's shiny, so it's real pretty, and it'll be something pretty and sparkly. And I'm going to add another little touch of curling ribbon off to the other side of the mum. So I'm just curling those and cutting them not very long, and just doing about 5 of them, and I will attach them, staple them on the other side of the mum there on the backer. Very simple. You can tie them together in a knot or try to attach them individually, just whatever's easier for you. Yeah, I'm just holding them on there, and then I'm stapling several times to make sure that I get each piece stapled on there very good. You see that adds some more gold and just a fun touch. Now I'm going to make the mum flower backer, and I'm going to use some more of that print, and I'm going at a 5-inch length because it is a mini mum. So instead of 6-inch, I usually do 5 inches on these mini mums. And I'm doing the white acetate behind the wired ribbon because I'm taking the wires out, of course, and then if you just use the wired ribbon by itself, it will kind of flatten out. So if you put a piece of acetate behind it, it will help it hold its real good loopy shape. Now I'm going to layer several different colors and sizes of acetate ribbons. This green is more of a soft satin, though. It's still stiff on the back side, and then it's soft satin on the top. So it's kind of like between acetate and soft satin. I got it at Michael's, and I love using it. You can see how shiny and pretty it is. Now when I'm attaching it to the whiter white, though, I'm going to angle it. So it gives it a nice, unique look when you angle it like that, instead of just being straight and even in the center like most people do. Just angle it slightly from one corner to the next, and it just gives it such a different look. Just be sure that you staple it good and all pieces are stapled on. Now here's a little tip for you before you attach your loops to your backer. Just take that roll of masking tape and center it on your backer, and then with a magic marker or a pencil or pen or something, just draw out a circle. That way you know where to attach your loops. You know how deep onto the backer to attach them, so they're nice and even on all sides. And I'm talking about how much the loop is sticking off the backer even. You still have to make sure that you're attaching them evenly around and between the loops and straight and stuff, but this will help you with the depth of how you're attaching them. And you see when I take the scissors there on the side, I'm just making sure that they're level or even straight line on from one end to the next, because I've got one on north, south, east, and west, so I want to make sure that they match up evenly. Now I'm just adding a small piece of green glitter ribbon on the top there just to add some more sparkle. And here's both sides finished. You see that just adds a little something extra. Now I'm going to make some smaller loops to go in between those big loops. And the white ribbon, the white acetate, is 1 5/16 inch. And then I've got a 7/8 and a 5/8 inch. So you can see each ribbon layered. And I've got these printed soft satin ribbons. I believe I got those at Hobby Lobby. This one's penguins, and they've got like Christmassy, Santa hats, and it's a very Christmassy little ribbon. And the other one is peppermint candy. Again, I wanted to make this fun, so I wanted to use different Christmassy, wintry type ribbons and just make it really fun. So I've got the polka dot, then I've got just Christmas colors and bling, and then I've got these fun patterns. So I just wanted it to be really, really cute, and hopefully she really enjoys it. When you're attaching the second layer of loops, you want to make sure that you're even between those two loops. So I'm placing this smaller loop in between those big loops, but I need to make sure that there's an even space between each side on the left and right. And just do that all the way around. And I've got a little tip for you on this penguin ribbon. Sometimes you'll have ribbons like this that there's an up and a down side, so you have to be careful how you attach them. You don't want to end up with a mum that has a ribbon like this and it's upside down when they're wearing it. So what I do is I attach one direction and I attach the other one the opposite direction. So no matter how you attach the backer on the mum, one of these is always upright and one will always be down, or go in a different direction. It just depends. If you've got them going east to west while they're wearing it, then one will be up, one will be down. But if you do it like north and south, then they'll both be fine. But it'll just help you out in case you do mess up and don't pay attention when you're attaching it to the back or to the mum. You don't end up with some patterns that are upside down. If you do it intentionally where one is right, one direction and one is the other direction, then you're always going to have one going the right direction and it'll look like it's on purpose. So now I'm doing some deco mesh tubing and I'm just playing around with how I want to attach it. First I do them really wide like this, and then I'll show you how I kind of make them smaller. When I'm building a backer, another tip for you is I will have my flower there close by, and I will constantly, after I attach, the first loops and the second loops or whatever else I'm attaching, I will keep putting the flower on the backer, actually pushing it through the hole and seeing how it looks. Just what I attach, does it look good? Does it need anything else? So I'm constantly doing that to see how it's looking and how it's going to turn out. Well, after testing it out with the flower, I didn't like how wide I had that tubing, so I'm just pinching it in the center there, making them smaller, and now I like how it looks. I didn't want it real big. So I'm just taking some tinsel again, this thin tinsel, a very inexpensive tinsel, and just making like a ball out of it, and then I'm attaching it right there in the middle where I attached the deco mesh tubing in the center. So you can kind of see that staple, so I wanted to cover that up with that tinsel, and then I just add something else. And then you can add more tinsel on the backer just to kind of stick out from the mum flower and add some sparkle and some shine. You always want to make sure that you can't see any staples when you attach your flower to the backer, so make sure that nothing is showing. And if you do see staples, then you're going to want to put another layer of ribbons, or you're going to do like tinsel like this, just something else to cover all that up. So now I'm just securing the flower with a chenille stem. Just run it through the back after I cut off the excess stem there on the back side, and just tie a couple of knots in it. Make sure it's big enough so it won't slip back through. That's the reason for the knots. And then I will actually hot glue right there where I'll pull it as far as it'll come through. So it's like a little stem now. And then I'll put hot glue there to make sure that it's nice and secure. So now your flower is nice and secure and it's not going to come apart. Just run that chenille stem through the backer, pull it tight. See how cute that turned out? Now I will staple that chenille stem to the backer and then cut it off just a little bit over, maybe a ½ inch. Fold it over and staple it again, and it's nice and secure. I will hot glue the flower down to the backer as well. Now I'm going to add some tulle. This is actually like an organza tulle, and it's glittery, and this is like a lime green, so I've got dark green or Christmas green and lime green going on with this mum, and I'm just ruffling that tulle and I'm putting it right there. I just thought it needed a little something extra, and I will staple it right there in the middle where I gathered it. So just give it a few staples, make sure that it's nice and secure and all the ruffles will be stapled down, and then just kind of pull it apart and move it around, fluff it up, and you shouldn't be able to see the staples. If you do, you can add some bling, some tinsel, something there. Now here I am, like I said, hot gluing the mum flower down because it can flop up and you'd be able to see like the mess underneath that, and you don't want that. Plus it helps secure it down. Now I'm just going to attach my two backers together, and I'm hold it up first to make sure it's, the loops are going the directions I want them to. And I put two staples in it at the top to hold it in place, and then I can flip it up like that and hot glue the two sections together. And that way they won't slide around, because sometimes when you go to hot glue them, it will slide and you'll pick it up after it's dry and you'll realize that they kind of slid apart. So now you've got this bigger backer that you need to cover up, and it'll, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So if you put 2 staples at the top first and then hot glue it, those backers are going to stay where they are supposed to and they're not going to move around. And then after that glue dries, I go around and I staple as many places as I can. I just want those 2 backers to be nice and secure. I want them tightly together. You don't want a gap between the 2 backers. You want them really, really tight together. You don't want to see any gaps at all. Now I'm attaching a ribbon necklace. So you see when I add the hot glue, I am angling it. I don't want the necklace up top because I don't want it tight on them. I want it to have some room. So I always add it more to the side at an angle. So it'd be like northwest and northeast, I guess, would be the angle if you were looking at a compass. And this is a different Christmas ribbon, another dollar store ribbon. It's got the vintage red trucks with the trees in the back, and I think it says something. I can't remember what it says, but I just wanted a combination of different printed ribbons, Christmas ribbons. There it is. It says Christmas and something else on it. I can't remember. But it was really cute, and it's only a one-sided, like a lot of those, but soft satins are what I recommend you using for the necklaces because they're going to be nice and soft around their necks. And I usually do 24 inches on both sides. So I glue it down and then I staple it as well. And then you can tie it into a bow so those aren't dangling everywhere and getting in your way. And then to finish it off, you want to add a clean backer to the back. You only hot glue it on, and I show that in many videos. Here's some pictures of the finished mum. I did a glitter cheerleader silhouette for the front there in a custom cutout in gold glitter, and then there's a little bow, and I did some glitter foam designs that I got from the dollar store that came in a package, and there was trees and boots and snowflakes and can't remember what else, but I attached some of those on there. And then I did gold metallic stickers, vinyl stickers for the name and everything. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please subscribe. Don't forget to tap the bell for notifications. Comment, share, like. Please be kind with your comments, and please be kind to others, and I hope everyone is safe and healthy.